Alright guys, it's important that I make sure that you understand gustar and verbs that work like gustar. So I'm going to show you a diagram that will help you understand it, and if it doesn't, we'll go over it in class. But what I need you to do is turn your paper to the side. You need to start on a completely blank piece of paper and you need to turn it to the side. So instead of it being, how did they used to explain it to you in kindergarten? Instead of hot dog, it's hamburger style. I don't know. It needs to be the side or landscape instead of portrait. Okay, so you're turning to the side because I've got a lot of information going from left to right, and you guys need to be able to spread it out in a more easy to read fashion than what I have here. I'm limited to the size of my screen, but you guys can expand your on your paper because it's wider. Okay, so with your paper turned to the side, write this at the top: gustar and gustar-like verbs, and then at the bottom I need you to draw an arrow going from left, or no, from right to left that says gustar sentences work backwards. At the bottom of your page, you are drawing this arrow from right to left, it's going this way, and say that gustar sentences work backwards because they technically do. So, let me show you this diagram. I'm going to quickly explain it, press pause, write everything down exactly as I have it written down, but hopefully a little bit more spread out and easy to read. Okay, so we use at the beginning of a gustar sentence, and I'm going to put this in parentheses and you should too, because it's optional. Oops, those are terrible parentheses. Again, I'm limited with my space. To clarify or emphasize, and this part's optional, you have to put the letter A, that's a big A, go away, a big A over here. You can hardly see it. Let me see if I can move that a little bit more into frame. Just barely. So it's, you put ah in front of me. Remember, you can't ah yo, you ah me. That has an accent. You can't ah tu, you must ah t. That one does not have an accent. You can say a el, a e, a usted, or someone's name, a nosotros, or you could say to Anna and me, and you have to put a in front of each person listed, a vosotros, or all of these. Again, I put a in front of both names. And add this information here. You must put a in front of each person listed. Okay, that part's optional right here. What you must have in a gustar sentence, or verbs that work like gustar, is an indirect object pronoun. Me, te, le, nos, os, les. And these match the person. Then you have a form of gustar. And 90% of the time or more, you only use the he, she form or the they form. Why? Because your subject is over here. And if it's a singular noun, there's an arrow right here that points to gusta, a verb infinitive, gusta, or a plural noun, gustan. And I'm going to put this part in parentheses too, because you guys know if it's already clear, you can take the subject out of a sentence. So please spread this out on your paper into like 3 separate dimensions, all the way to the right, in the middle, all the way to the left. Nice and neat. And again, it's because if I was saying I like pizza, I hope you guys know that gustar really means to be pleasing. What you're really saying is pizza, that's the subject of the sentence, is pleasing, so it's what's you have to conjugate gustar for, to me. And since it's happening to or for someone, you have to have an IOP. But if I was saying pizza is pleasing to Jim, I have to say pizza, over here all the way to the right, gusta, is pleasing to him. And if I just have le gusta la pizza, if that's all you saw as a sentence, you wouldn't know who le refers to. It could be he likes pizza, she likes pizza, or whatever the case may be. So I would add clarification. I would say, Jim. Hopefully you remember this. If not, please just write down a nice chart. Press pause if you're not done yet, which I assume you're not, because I'm about to move on. On your next piece of paper, we're just going to write down some additional information. This information here. You don't have to rewrite gustar and gustar-like verbs. Actually, that'd be a good idea. You can turn your paper back normal now. So you can just turn that other one back normal. To answer the question, gustar or gustan, you look at what directly follows gustar. As I just told you guys, that's really the subject of the sentence because they work backwards. If the subject, what is pleasing to the person, is a singular noun, this is the structure for your sentence. If what is pleasing to a person is a verb infinitive, and as you guys remember, verb infinitives end in AR, ER, IR, this is the structure of your sentence. And if what is pleasing to the person or the subject of your sentence is plural, like tacos, this would be the structure of your sentence. Some of you will do better by following these formulas, and some of you will do better by following the chart that we just put on the other page, but we're writing down both because we want to use whatever works. If you're not done writing this down yet, press pause. I'm going to move on to the last thing that we're adding to our gustar and gustar-like verb notes. We are adding some verbs that work like gustar that we should be aware of. We know that gustar really means to be pleasing. We use it to say that it is what someone likes. Encantar, you guys probably learned last year, literally means to be enchanting to someone. When we say it, we say, I love pizza. And you guys probably had a chapter over chores, and we used tocar, which you guys know in normal sentences means to play instruments, but we use it to say it's so-and-so's turn to do something. The verb parecer means to seem, and really we should keep it like that. Alright, so hopefully you guys remember and understand gustar. If not, we'll practice in class. Thank you for taking your gustar notes.